All right. Okay, so welcome to Prism God, also known as Raphael, right?
That's correct.
Which do you prefer to go to, as a man? What do you like?
Honestly, it was cool at first, man, being Prism God. It was like people walk up to me in the beginning, it's like, "Aren't you Prism God?" I'm like, "Yeah." At first, it was euphoric. Now it's like, you can call me Raphael, man. Once you meet me, it's like, all right, Raphael is fine.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, Prism God's cool.
Let me know, how did you even come up with the name? Like, where did that come about?
Oh
Tell us
man,
about that.
it's funny. So, man, about 4 years ago, I was at the Chicago show.
Okay.
And a group of kids was like, "Man, you got some really nice cards." He's like, "You got an Instagram?" And I'm like, "No." He's like, "You should create one. You got some really nice cards." So I end up creating an Instagram account. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what name would I come up with? And the obvious thing at the time was Prism. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just be the god of Prism. Nobody's that. I was
right.
like, I'll be Prism God. So it's cool. It worked.
Nice.
So,
That
it was
works.
funny. Yeah.
So here we are. So we are Friday night for everyone that's going to watch this.
Yes.
Tell me about, what do you think of the show so far? Just tell me about Mint Collective.
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's very well organized and put together. I think that what they're trying to accomplish. I think they have accomplished so far. I mean, their appearance is beautiful. It's very nice. They brought the right people in.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I'm really excited to see where it's gonna happen going forward. So it's really
Very
dope.
cool.
Yeah.
Obviously you run a really well done show, Culture
you.
Collision, right?
you.
So
Yeah.
I know our team was just out there. So just random off the cuff, anything that you've seen here that you're gonna now be able to take back for yourself and be able to make Culture Collision even bigger, right?
Oh man, you know what? Honestly, if I had an endless amount of money,
sure.
I would be a version of Mint Collective in my own regard.
Yeah.
So I could say that. I could definitely see myself. Honestly, I think what I'm more excited about is seeing the sponsors come in and step their game up a little bit better, because I think most of the vendors here, they come in, they set up, they do what they're supposed to, put the cards in the cases, that's it. But I think it's the sponsors, right? It's that make things appealing. And I
Sure.
think that's one of the things that drove me my first couple shows. Is like, all right, guys, I want you guys to give back to the community. I want you guys to come up with some good ideas to make it engaging, because most of the time people walk past sponsors. They
Yeah.
don't get a chance to talk to them. So I think it's dope to be able to make this more engaging, to where we can build more relationships with each other, and it's fun. I like that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff that's going on so far. Is there anything that you're really looking forward to? Like, is there a specific thing that you know about at the show that you want to get a part of?
Honestly, I'm really just taking it all in. I'm really surprised, man. They got people walking around with hors d'oeuvre trays.
Yeah, I know.
That's freaking dope.
Yep.
I definitely didn't think about that. So
Sure.
that wasn't one of the, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's definitely something we weren't thinking about at Culture Collision. But I think to see people do that is very unique. I think it's exciting. It creates a different atmosphere than I think we're used to. I think it's a well-deserving atmosphere for the hobby.
Sure.
So if you're not here, you're gonna wish you were here.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just right now. I'm just taking it all in. It's just
Cool.
a lot going on. I think we have the right, like I said, we have the right people that are here. So there are some panels I want to pay attention to.
Yeah,
So I'm
for
going
sure.
to definitely be watching those.
Good. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, I'd love to hear about a little bit of your origin story. Like, how did you, I know obviously now we know how you got your name, but how did you get into this hobby?
Man, it's crazy. Man, it's like almost bad timing, but it's all good. So I used to be in the, growing up, I got into the hobby through my cousin. And then from there, I got to high school and I met this guy named Jesse. Rest in peace, Jesse. He just passed away yesterday.
Yeah. I actually want to say, I saw that on your story. I'm really sorry to hear about that.
Yeah.
I know you talked very highly about him, close friend of yours. So
Yeah. He was the guy that got me back into the industry. It was tough, but I mean, he really was the guy that kind of pushed me to get in the industry and make it special. And he did that.
Hey man, I'm sorry about that. So
I mean, honestly, give me a second.
You're okay.
Oh man, give me a second. Give me 1 second. All right. I want to say, like, when we were in high school, he really, he used to get over on me. Um, and I guess there were moments where, he taught me a lot. And I got out of the industry when I was in high school. When I got to college, I got out of the industry, and he was really like, man, you should get back in. It's a lot going on. You can make a little bit of money. And I'm in college, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I can't afford these cards. And he was like, well, you can buy cheap stuff. Like, you can buy Giannis for $1. I never listened to that investment. That was a smart investment. He definitely was smart about. He told me about Anthony Davis. He's like, you need to buy him. He's fairly inexpensive. And inexpensive to him is like a couple thousand. But try being a new person in the industry and spending $1,000. You're like, I mean, I'm in college, man. I don't have $1,000 to just put on a back burner, so I didn't know as much as I learned now. But he got me back into it. He motivated me at one point to focus on it. And I realized, I guess, in 2016, 2017, that it was an opportunity that I can make money in the industry. And it changed my life. So, I mean, honestly, of course, I had to put the work in.
Yeah.
You can't take away putting the work in no matter what. But he actually was one of the people, like I said, we bought a case of Prism basketball, which led me to become Prism God.
There you
I bought
go.
a case of basketball, Prism basketball in Chicago for a Christmas break. We went to the Orland show, and we opened up a case. He helped me open up a case, and we all went to lunch after we went to the show. It was crazy, man. So, I mean, literally, Jesse was one of the guys that really put me in the industry, and I kind of just took it above and beyond at that point. I just kind of took the ball, I just ran with it and just kept going. But it was, conversations with him about a lot of different things. I've had thousands of conversations with him in reference to this industry, and I talked to him about a lot of different things that are going on in the industry. And, I consulted with him with a lot of different things because I trusted his judgment. But through that, it's helped me become successful.
That's awesome.
So,
That's good.
So I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So through the fire, you came out on the other side.
Hey, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool.
So for the people out there that are dealing with things and they don't find it to be an easy situation to be a part of, you can fight through it. You can make it through it. If I made it, you can definitely make it. You just got to put the work in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just life advice.
100%.
That's whether it's sports card life,
yeah.
construction job, blue collar, white collar, it doesn't make a difference. 100%. So cool, man. I appreciate that. So I'd love to hear about your impression of just sports card grading. Obviously grading is the rage in a lot of aspects, but just what's your impression of grading?
I think it's a necessity. I think it's another aspect of it is it's like a serial number or a social security for your card, because if you're talking about a card that's not serial number, right? It really has no identity.
Sure.
I think having it graded gives it more of an identity and say, oh man, because you have those conversations where you say, oh man, that was my PSA 10 Jordan right there. I like one of my cards just sold. I had a Joe Burrow Prism Gold that just sold on PWCC, and I was like, oh man, that was my card right there. So it's like it's just funny to be able to have those stories. So I think grading is a necessity. It helps with identifying the card. And notice, it talks about flaws of the cards, characteristics of the card. And like I said, I think it's a necessity.
For sure.
Yeah.
I got 2 quick hit questions here. So what are grading companies doing well?
I think grading companies are doing well. Well, I'll give credit to the new companies.
Okay.
All right. The new companies, I'll give credit to the new companies first by pushing the appreciate it. I would say they're pushing these older companies to become better. Like I think Beckett rebranded themselves this past weekend, which I think is credible to the newer companies that are trying to push everything forward. People are coming out with newer cases. I just seen CSG with their new cases. They look amazing. I seen Rare Edition. I like their cases. So I like a lot of what these people are putting out there because, we're spending millions of dollars or billions of dollars towards grading, and we want the best possible option. I think us as a hobby, I think at some point we're gonna probably give a little bit more credit to some of these newer grading companies at some point in time. So yeah.
So the flip side of that, so what are the grading companies doing poorly right now?
I wish there was a way to drop those prices on grading, but I understand the demand is really high right now, and I'm sure at this point, with the demand being so high, they can kind of put an infinite price tag on it as long as you know you can pay to grade the card. But I would like to see prices kind of come down a little bit. I don't know if that would hurt the value of some cards because, you know, with PSA, you know, you pay a premium based upon what the value of the card is.
Sure.
So I don't know if that, you know, helps or hurt the value long term. With Beckett, I mean, I guess that, you know, maybe that's something that's probably maybe hurting them. I don't know. But I like to maybe see some of these prices kind of come down, honestly. And I really
what's kind of that sweet spot? Like, what do you think is appropriate for grading?
I think Beckett's probably right on point. I really wish PSA would probably come down on pricing a little bit. I mean,
back into the like 30, 35 range, 25. Like,
yeah, I would say for the average consumer, I think spending $20 on a card is probably fair.
Sure,
I think it's $20 for a card is fair.
That makes sense.
I mean, you know, if you're new to the industry, you don't have $1,000
right
for a
to
card.
throw into grading.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, especially you don't get the good grades.
Yeah. That'll burn you.
Of course, 100%.
So, next 2 to 5 years, what's the outlook from you for the market, hobby market?
Well, I hope we're healthy. I hope everybody's educated. I think with shows like this and like Culture Collision, I think that as long as we continue to move the hobby forward, I think we'll be in good hands. Like I said, I just want us to be more educated. And I think that, you know, coming out with great content, doing great interviews like this, talking to people with great insight and, you know, challenging people to become better. You know, I think that's all I've ever really wanted. You know, even when I came out with Culture Collision, I was just like, we spent all this money on cards. We can't have a better card show than this.
Fair.
That was like my whole MO in the beginning. It's like, so even pushing to see something like this right now, I think is a great thing.
And you even do a basketball tournament?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Even though they didn't do a basketball tournament here, but that's okay.
That's true.
They'll leave that up to us.
Yeah, 100%. Okay. So, cool. So, hey, drop your Instagram handles, those types of things. This is the outro right now, but really important for you to get the exposure of the fans. So.
Of course, man. Well, I appreciate you guys already supporting me. If you've never supported me or don't know who I am Prism God. I go by Prism_God on IG, Prism God TV on YouTube. You also can follow me on Prism God Facebook or come to my website, www.prismgod.com, or Culture Collision, www.culturecollisiontradeshow.com. You can find out about the new show. New show announcement will be probably the next month or so, but you know, you'll find out soon. But there'll be some new ideas. I'm gonna continue pushing the hobby forward, and hopefully with you guys' support, we'll do the same. So
at least one more show this year, right?
No.
Oh, it's okay.
I can guarantee no show this year.
No more shows this year.
No show this year, man. I mean, honestly, I think, and this is for you guys. I mean, honestly, if we were able to do a show like this 4 or 5 times a year, I think it would probably cost you guys a lot of money to come.
Yeah, it would. Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, so I just want to be one of those shows you at least will do that with.
Oh, we'll always do the show. Yeah, no, we love the show. That's for sure.
I appreciate it. So I think going forward, I think if we can have like 4 or 5 of these type of shows this year.
Yep.
You know, Mint Collective, the Nationals, Culture Collision, whatever other show we can put out there. I think it's dope.
That's awesome. Perfect. Well, hey, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.